Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. On today's video, we are going over ADA Cardano as it has still been continuing this beautiful move to the upside that we have been talking about for the last few days. Now, of course, we were predicting that this breakout to either direction would happen over, honestly, for like 3 days straight. If we just go to my channel, I said, hey, make sure you're ready. ADA Cardano's on the edge of a breakout, and then boom, ADA Cardano makes a power move. And so it's fantastic to see that many of you were prepared for this. Many of you didn't know this was going to happen. Of course, if you were not able to see those videos, make sure you don't miss any more in the future by subscribing to the channel. But let's go ahead and let's see what all is going on with ADA and what we can expect going into the future. So what we can see, of course, is what happened is that we saw a breakout to the downside, as we talked about yesterday, from our symmetrical triangle. But I said in that video that from the day before yesterday, I said look for an interaction at the 100 EMA. If we're able to hold the 100 EMA, that should be enough support to carry us back into our semi-triangle. As we can see, we have held that level of support before in the past. Secondly, I said if we're able to do that, there's two steps that I need to see clear. I want to see first that we're able to clear $2.20, just kind of like this midpoint of our symmetrical triangle, as well as the clearing of our 20 and our 50 EMAs. And as you can see, if we kind of just zoom down to the 4-hour charts, we saw those absolutely beautiful moves, right? Not only that, we're starting to see some absolutely very bullish moves from the 20 and the 50 EMA on the 4-hour charts, which simply just tells us that some of this bullish momentum definitely can continue, considering the fact that we're seeing some of these golden crosses on the smaller time frames. Now, at the moment, of course, now that we have done all of this, the next goal is to get that close outside of the symmetrical triangle. And some people may get a little bit worried seeing this big wick to the upside, but personally speaking, I think the fact that we found resistance here is not the worst thing on earth. The reason that I say that is if we go back to our 4-hour time frames and look at our Bollinger Bands, that was a massive extension to the upside, and we didn't give our 20 simple moving average just enough time to work its way back up towards the price. And what happens typically is if we get this extended out, we will resort back to our 20 simple moving average, and the fact that that 20 SMA is now within our triangle is a fantastic sign, which just goes to show that if we do roll right now and lose the $2.20 support level, that we may come back down, back test this 20 simple moving average, and then look for continuation. Had we seen a breakout to the upside here, being that extended away from our 20 SMA on the 4-hour likely would have resulted in some type of big falling back within the triangle, which just wouldn't have been a good look, and some people would have started calling that a fake out. So the fact that we didn't even get to see those closes just yet, while we do let our 20 SMA work its way up, I think will provide us with a little bit more of a stronger foundation going into the long run. Okay. Now, looking at this thing on more of a daily perspective, we also have to consider the fact that the rest of the market is looking at some resistance at this level. And what I mean by that is if we just kind of drag this out, if we look at total market cap 2, whenever we saw this big wick to the upside, that was actually us testing our previous all-time high. Okay, we were very well within this range of our previous all-time high, and of course there's going to be massive resistance there. There's a very large psychological wall right here at around close to $1.5 trillion that will be a little bit difficult to clear. Will we clear it? Yes, I believe so. But the fact that we did run into resistance is no surprise. And this is total market cap 2, okay? So this is the total accumulation of all of the market caps of every single altcoin. And we can see that once we reach that level, people were starting to take a little bit of profits out because they have that psychological belief that we may not be able to set that new all-time high. We can also look at Ethereum, and Ethereum came up to test that all-time high as well, leading a lot of the rest of the market to see some minor pullbacks once it did reach some resistance, okay? So this pullback that we are seeing right here, I do accredit it to not only the fact that we were a little bit too extended off of our 4-hour simple 20 simple moving average, but also the fact that the rest of the market did run into some all-time high resistance, causing ADA to have that trickle-down effect as well, seeing a bit of a pullback. I don't think it's anything to be worried about, and kind of looking at some of our indicators, they all still tell me that there's a lot of bullish potential left. So first and foremost, we're going to look at the MACD. On the daily charts, there is still a ridiculous amount of room to grow. I do believe that a move of this nature, if we see something like this repeat itself, that's probably going to put ADA well within the range of $3.50 to $4. Of course, I do have the $3.40 price target minimum for the end of this bull run. I actually made that price target back in July, and people were calling me crazy, but we are well within the possibility of seeing that move, especially if we get some dramatic move to the upside, as we definitely could. Now, if we just go ahead and get rid of that, and let's look at a few other indicators to see if they're a bit oversold or overbought. One thing we can see on the stock RSI is that there is still, again, I mean, there's still just loads of room to work here. Now, even with the stock RSI, you know, it's one that I like to use in order to gauge where we're at in terms of, you know, buying and selling pressure. But realistically, I mean, this entire run to the upside here was, you know, within this big consolidational event and then drop on the stock RSI, okay? So the fact that we're still working our way up just goes to show me that there is still loads of potential for us to follow a similar pattern of that nature, just meaning that this thing doesn't look to be the long-term top right now. Now, even if we look at our normal RSI, just to kind of get an idea of where our strength is on the relative strength index, we're nowhere near overbought territory, not even remotely close. There is still a load of room to go. And so the common denominator between all of our more long-term indicators is that they will support a big move. Like, if we wanted to see a big move, we have all of the room in the world to work with our indicators to support that big move. And the fact that we are building up this strong foundation right now, clearing over some of our EMAs, especially our 20 and our 50, as well as getting past some of these VPVR peaks, I think it all tells me still that we are very well within the possibility of seeing that massive move to the upside back up towards $2.50, possibly up to $2.84. And I honestly do think that's going to happen if the rest of the market decides that we're going to continue this bull run. So overall, guys, just be looking for this breakout to the upside. That's the only thing I'm really worried about and looking for at the moment. Let's see that big breakout of trend. Let's get ourselves back up here, even if the price does need to come down a little bit more, and find some support again on that 4-hour 20 SMA, or if we need to find some support on top of $2.20, that's fine. But let's look for that breakout to the upside. There'll likely be a breakout, an establishment of support, and a continuation upwards. So that's what I'm expecting. Definitely be on the lookout for it, as I don't believe it's going to take very long. Once the rest of the market wakes up again, once it finds some support, and once we break through some of those key resistance levels on things like total market cap 2 and Ethereum specifically, I think that's going to entail a pretty large move for ADA that should it should happen pretty fast, okay? So I will update you guys as soon as anything does happen. Now, one quick warning, I'm closing on my house tomorrow, so there's a small percent chance that I will not be making a video tomorrow, but of course I will be updating you guys through Twitter. You can also stay up to date through my Patreon, as well as all of those other Instagram and all those good things. So I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Of course, I hope you guys did enjoy today's breakdown of the price, and I'll see you next time. Peace.